Alrighty. First off, let me apologize. This took me quite a while to get to, but nonetheless, I'm here. I will always do my best to keep my word. Just in the military, and we were out in the field doing some training for a couple weeks, and definitely kept me occupado. Anyway, this video is going to be on AWCC and my current sound settings. Just so y'all know, I do not really fancy updating this application just because of how touchy it tends to be. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to the sound settings. Okay, so we'll make our way over to Fusion, the sound bar. This is typically what I use. It's either headphones or digital output. So both of these settings, just mimic these dials here. I don't tend to use the equalizer too much, although I've messed around with it, just having a balanced EQ. The reason being is because I have Dolby Atmos right here, but I do not use it for this headset. The reason being is Dolby Atmos tends to condense the frequencies and overall sound a bit much to where I don't actually get enough out of it. That's why I have this disabled. I did have a viewer that, and I'm sorry this is a tangent, but I had a viewer that was having an issue enabling Dolby Atmos to the point where he does not hear music. So I want to go ahead and select my headset that I'm using, the Alienware 988. Then we'll make our way to volume settings. So when you select this headset here, you should be able to see that your spatial sound type, if you're using Alienware, just have it off. There's no reason for it. But if you are using Dolby Atmos, make sure you have it on. Just for the purpose of this video, go ahead and have Dolby Atmos on for a second so that way I can actually use the application. Come on. The hell? Of course, once I finally get to this video, that's when this starts happening. Maybe it's because I don't normally use Dolby Atmos for this headset. Who knows? The other thing is, whenever you have an input, make sure it's on the chat version of whatever headset you're using, because this can end up confusing the entire game and the system itself that you're using. There's almost always a chat version and a game version. So for the output, make sure it's game. For the input, which is you speaking into the mic, use chat. It's that simple. Anyway, let's get back to the video and we'll further dive into the audio effects. So if you guys are like me, where you've had multiple profiles that you've tried to use just to kind of figure it out, I've got some things that I play around with. This bass boost is for high boost in Modern Warfare, and then Alienware is for high boost as well. The reason why I have two different profiles that are somewhat similar is because whenever I'm playing actual multiplayer Modern Warfare or even Vanguard, this is what tends to work better. This shooter profile. Now Alienware, on the other hand, I go back and forth because some days just this profile here on headphones seems to work better, whereas some days Realtek seems to work better. Now it still comes through the headset. Thing is, it uses a little bit different of an output, and the profile itself is also a little bit different. This is where you can use 7.1 virtual surround sound, and it doesn't really diminish your gameplay. Over in Dolby Atmos, I said don't use spatial sound, which is 7.1 surround sound. Don't use what is it called? I don't know. What it does is it balances the equalizer, right? So over in Dolby Atmos, you'll have an equalizer but then you'll also have a, god damn it, why can't I just open this? Whatever, let me go into Task Manager and see if it's still open. That's why it's being stupid. Yeah, it is. Okay, we'll go ahead and close that down. We'll try to open it back up. And would you look at that? Okay. Now we'll go in, volume settings. Let's bring up headphones again. Okay, so headphones, here we are. So if you've seen my previous video, I have a couple different profiles that I like to kind of screw around with, but this is Custom 2 is the profile that I would recommend using more so than the others. Anyway, as you can see, you have volume leveler and sound virtualizer. Now when you head over to Alienware Command Center, you have a surround sound, right? Virtual surround sound. That's essentially what Sound Virtualizer is over on Dolby. Now, this is one of those things where I know it might seem like a cop-out or a scapegoat, but it's really true. The drivers, the speakers themselves, are going to be of a different frequency range a lot of the time, even a different impedance, which means the output that you hear through your headset is going to be different based on the headset. That's why I recommend using my profiles as a baseline to go off of, and then you can mess with things like surround sound, you can mess with equalizers, and then just see what improves it, what makes it to where you aren't getting less distance away that you can be from an enemy, that you're hearing footsteps, gunshots, throwing knives, whatever it might be, just the in-game cues, because the in-game cues are what give you an edge, right? You can hear them coming from left, right, top, bottom, whatever it might be. They all play a role. So, to save from just rambling on any further, these are the profiles I use. You can try out Shooter as well. I've got a Realtek and a headphone version for that as well. Other than that, volume leveler, what I was talking about, it just gives it a balanced EQ. If I wanted a damn balanced EQ, I would have everything at 0 decibels. Which, actually, let me open this back up one more time. Nope. Fusion. Nope. Soundbar. And up here on Realtek, equalizer is balanced. See? That was just something I was playing around with, and it ended up sounding pretty good. And also surround sound. It's weird. The application of AWCC doesn't actually make it to where the distance that you can hear loot boxes, enemies, like it doesn't diminish the distance that you can hear them away from you. However, when you get to Dolby Atmos, what I realized is that when you use the surround sound, virtual surround, it makes it to where the distance that you can hear these things is just cut in half. I don't understand it. I can't explain it. Maybe it's just a bug within Dolby that they have yet to address. I have no idea. But for that exact reason, that's why I do not use Dolby. And that's why I don't use the virtual surround option, most importantly. Other than that, I hope this is helpful and you guys get something out of it. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm doing. I appreciate the support. I've been getting a lot of it. The subscriptions, they help a lot. I'm not paid or anything like that, so I'm strictly just doing this to try to help people. Don't hesitate to post a question, post a request for a video. I'll do my best to look into it and maybe even install a program, see what issues I can encounter and resolve. So I'm here for you guys, and I appreciate the support. Thanks again.